Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Now, today, Golden Scouter, Kevin, and I are going to be talking about, and we want all of you who are watching right now to either pause the video and answer the question from the title, or I guess do something else, tell us what you think about this particular subject, because obviously both of us are really interested in hearing what you guys want to say. But we're going to be talking about whether or not this particular arc of Dragon Ball Super is the best, I guess, of any beginning arc that we've seen thus far. Do you like the build-up? Do you like what they're doing and how they're kind of jumping from one universe to another? Everyone's getting ready. Zeno's getting impatient and everything that we've seen in the last few episodes. So with that being said, I want to just introduce Kevin, or the Golden Scouter. I say this every time he's here, guys. Please make sure to pause the video right now. Go down to the description section below, hit that link to his channel, and please make sure to go sub to this guy. He makes some really awesome content, not just Dragon Ball. He also does Pokemon playthroughs and a lot of other really unique things for this community that no one else does. So I know I say it every time, but you would be missing out on something real special if you didn't necessarily go check him out. So Kevin, how are you, man?
Hey Mark, thanks for the kind words again. And I'm doing
Yeah,
good. How are you doing?
I'm really good, dude. As I've been telling people or some of my videos recently, please forgive my audio if it's a little off or something. I'm not necessarily in my normal recording place where we actually put these videos together, but I just had a lot of crazy ideas recently I wanted to get through, and I felt like this was a really good discussion topic for you and I, and whether or not I wanted to see what your thoughts are versus mine and everyone else. So we're going to be talking about whether or not this series, this opening of this arc, is actually better than anything that we've seen previously in any of the arcs in Dragon Ball Super. And I think we discussed this very briefly before we actually started recording, and I think you and I have a bit of opposing views. Mine is, quite frankly, yes. I'm absolutely loving everything we're seeing from this particular arc. I love jumping from different universe to different universe, seeing how other people are either really annoyed or paranoid, how, the Pride Troopers are dressing up fancy and meeting people, and Hit's going off and recruiting Frost, and Cabba's training Caulifla, and Kale's basically, in episode 92, it looks like from the preview, she's watching from behind a mountain or rock or something. I mean, there's just so much going on here that I just feel like we're gearing up for something really special. They are putting a lot of more emphasis on other universes, other characters, and all this other stuff than I thought that they would previously. And I gotta admit, I know a lot of people want this tournament to start, but I'm loving this right now. It's not only slice of life little episodes, but it's also building to something where I feel like some of these characters will be far more important than what we were expecting before all of this started. So I really believe that what we're seeing right now is something special, and I think that arc is going to play out and probably be one of the best ones we've ever seen in all of Dragon Ball, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, for me, this arc so far has been a pretty mixed bag. I mean, whenever it comes to recruitment episodes at least, because whenever it comes to the first 3 fights in the exhibition matches, I loved the first 2. The one with Goku versus Bergamo was kind of meh, and then Goku versus Toppo is actually really good. And then whenever it comes to these recruitment episodes, like I was saying, it's a mixed bag for me. I have a few great episodes that I loved of this arc. The Bra episode, the Krillin and 18 recruitment episode, the first episode with 17, and the tag team match with Goku, Tenshinhan, Piccolo, and Gohan. Those 4 right there, to me, are solid episodes, and I loved almost every moment of those episodes. Of course, I find a few problems here and there, but nothing too bad. But then there are a couple of stinkers, like the Space Poachers episode and the Roshi and Tenshinhan episode. Those ones just really rubbed me the wrong way. And then I would probably say the rest are just okay or good, at least in my opinion.
I understand where you're coming from in the stinkers. I didn't necessarily myself like the Poacher episode. I think there were some really cool parts here and there. Same thing with the Tenshinhan Roshi episode. Personally, I felt like the coolest parts about those episodes were kind of cutting off and seeing what other people were doing other than Goku recruiting everyone. as much as we do need to see Goku recruit his entire team and all this kind of play out, the only big problem that we've had throughout is, what about Universe 6? What about Universe 11? In episode 91, they even talked about how basically Universe 6 is also a team to be rivaled with. And on this channel, we've talked about a lot about how Universe 6 could probably potentially upset the entire tournament. No one's really thinking about it, but the story won't let us forget everything that's going on there. I mean, we've seen out of everyone, of course, we're going to see Universe 7 put together their team, but we've seen a lot of Universe 6 putting together their team. They put a lot of emphasis on it. And then, of course, we've seen Universe 11 put together their team, and we've seen Universe 9 put together their team at least a little bit. And then, of course, all the gods basically coming together and talking with each other. These snippets that we're seeing on all these episodes dealing with other people outside of Universe 7 is actually really interesting, let alone all the stuff going on like you were talking about. The Gohan versus Goku fight was incredibly epic. I think the entire fandom lost its mind for that particular fight. And then you also have other cool things like getting to see Krillin in 18 fight Goku, or getting to see Goku in 17 basically interact for the very first time with something pretty special and interesting to behold for a longtime fan of Dragon Ball. But I really like the idea that they're taking this and they're not just focusing on Universe 7. I mean, I can't be the only one out there who thought that they were just going to kind of slide through and just go, okay, we want you, and you, let's go. But they're actually drawing this out in such a way that we get to see not only some really cool fights between the members of Universe 7 as they kind of feel each other out and feel out how they're going to be useful in any particular fight, but they're also showing things like, Hit recruiting Frost, or Kaba trying to find other Saiyans. And then they're also showing the Pride Troopers trying to find other people to fight for them, and maybe even showing the Gods of Destruction asking each other if they're going to cheat, and no one basically saying anything. And it's for me, a lot of this is not only built excitement for certain teams that I probably wouldn't have been excited for regardless, but it's also put me in a position where perhaps there's a lot more going on here than we initially thought. A lot of people have put it on like, maybe they're going to cheat, maybe they're going to do this, maybe they're going to do that, and we don't necessarily know. But the fact that they're actually taking time to explore these characters makes me feel like we're going to be seeing an entire tournament instead of someone basically interrupting it. And also, we might actually get to see a little bit more characterization from people who we thought might be scrubs, or teams that we thought might not be important at all. So I really appreciate everything that they're trying to do here, and I really hope this build-up means that we're going to get a really epic tournament.
Same here, and I really do love that they're showing all the other activities from the different universes, such as recruiting. I've loved everything I've seen from the Universe 2, Universe 6, and not Universe 11, but Universe 9. Ironically enough, I find the Pride Troopers to be the least interesting universe by far. Like, even less interesting than the Trio to Dangers universe. Which one was that? Do you remember?
That was 9.
Oh, okay. Well, seriously. I don't know. I just don't find the Pride Troopers to be particularly interesting. Because there's no, struggle for them. They're just presented as complete, and there's no real journey for them. I don't know, they seem too, grandiose in a way. That's just my opinion about them.
Well, to me, it feels, and you and I did a video about this not too long ago, but to me it feels like they don't necessarily have the people they need in order to fight, and there's still that question as to whether or not they're going to be cheating, because we've seen a lot of things where although they do seem complete, we've only seen 4 of them in total. We don't necessarily know how many other people they're going to get to recruit. Even in this last episode, I believe that they're saying, they're having a little trouble regardless, but they do have a formidable team because of the Pride Troopers. So they need to fill a lot of spots. There's a lot of other reasons that there's a lot of, speculation. We're not necessarily sure. Just looking at the upcoming preview in episode 92, we see that there seems to be some kind of, sinister look in Kale's eyes. Maybe, like we were talking about earlier, maybe she gets pulled over into Universe 11 somehow. Maybe they figure out a way to cheat in order to get way of it. They never said. I don't think they ever said I could be wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, or Scouter, please tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't think they ever said that you can't use people from outside your universe. But of course, I feel like everyone just thinks that that's true, if unless they actually did say it. But I mean, I don't know what the Pride Troopers are doing. I feel like, in the last episode, they were in that bar and they were all dressed up and everything, having some kind of important meeting that we didn't see kind of pan out. But it would be interesting to see where that leads and what they were trying to do. So I personally find them incredibly intriguing. And then also they're letting Jiren just kind of sit in the background, aren't they? They're not letting him do anything this entire time because he's supposed to be stronger than Topo, not necessarily the team leader, but stronger. And they're obviously saving that. They're saving him. And that's what makes him interesting. And by contrast, I think it makes Universe 11 a little bit more interesting. But I agree. We're going to have to just wait and see. Obviously, another cool thing about the Universe 11 team I really like is that all the other people that we're seeing recruiting are using the Gods of Destruction, the Kais, and the Angels. Then the Pride Troopers, none of that crap. Like, the Gods of Destruction are off away in their own planet. Last time I believe we saw them. Maybe that's who they're meeting. I'm not sure, but I think the fact that the Pride Troopers are putting together their team shows the amount of respect, the amount of power they actually have, and maybe they cheat without the Gods of Destruction knowing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know. I mean, there's the whole thing with Kale being in the supposed Universe 11 lineup is that it really does throw people off about what might happen. So I mean, and you also have to imagine that we're also not getting to the tournament anytime soon. I mean, we're going to be lounging around in these type of episodes for another month as we kind of sit back and wait for everything to kind of unfold in that sense. So hopefully something happens where, hopefully there are a lot more surprises in this, but I really am appreciating everything that we've seen thus far. If Dragon Ball Super has done one thing unbelievably right from the day one, it's doing these slice of life episodes and seeing this, which is what these episodes have really been about. You talk about Goku fighting Gohan, or Krillin fighting Goku, Goku meeting 17, all these episodes that you thought were phenomenal, and I completely agree. Even the Tenshinhan episode with Master Roshi, even the Poacher episode with 17, any other episode that you can think of, they're all basically slice of life episodes, but they're leading to something much bigger. And I think that that's actually something really cool. They figured out a way to meld the story along with the stuff that was working ever since the beginning. And I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. And especially with how lengthy the intro of this arc is. They could justify making the universe survival arc the actual tournament. Mm-hmm. They could justify making that like 40 episodes or 50 episodes or something like that.
I would love that. I would love them to make like 50 episodes and just put like willingly, kind of begrudgingly, even just put the 5-minute mark to shame. Like with Frieza's fight, like 5 minutes, like just make it 50 episodes and make 48 minutes like 10 hours.
Yeah, or just have 5 episodes play and then have like the next 5 episodes basically be happening at the same time as those 5 episodes or something like that.
Exactly. I think that would be really cool. I can't wait to see how they put all of this together, but I'm personally, and I hope anyone listening to this still kind of tells us what you all think in the comment section below. I really think what we've seen thus far is building up to probably be one of the best arcs of Dragon Ball Super, if not one of the best arcs in Dragon Ball. If they continue this kind of pace, I feel like it's absolute quality right now, and I'm very, very happy with it. I know I've discussed this in the past, like what are they going to do after this? I stand by that. There's still a lot of things they can do. I understand, but this does seem, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me, this does seem kind of like a be-all, end-all of what's going on and how this series might end. Even though it probably won't, and they're always going to have ideas and they're going to keep pushing forward. But this is a climactic type of fight, and they're building up to it in a really good way. And I'm loving it right now.
Me too. It's a great way of involving all the side characters again, and also getting to know a little bit more about the other universes.
Exactly. Anyway, guys, so we're going to leave it at that. Please make sure to go down in the comment section below. Tell us what y'all's thoughts are, and there, both me and Kevin will take our time to respond to you guys and get back to you when we have time. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a good day. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Like I said at the beginning of the video, please make sure to go check out the Golden Scouter in the comments and the description section below. And we're going to catch y'all later.